ESCOM, we don't mind. If some people in Soweto are going to live in the dark, we will make sure that we will go as far as destroying all the ESCOM infrastructure so that everyone is in the dark.
Henda, you are now entering a space for Black history.
Hey yo, we're back with another video. We're about to check out NHLANHLA LUX reaction on podcasting show. Let's start this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a very special edition of Podcast and Chill. Yes. Today we're chilling with our leader, our fighter,
revolutionary.
The king is here. Yes. Our future president. Yes. Please welcome NHLANHLA LUX.
Morning.
How are you, comrade?
Number one, thank you.
Bro, what do you do like all day? Like when you wake up, what do you do?
So let me just tell you today, right? So today I was on a Skype call with the forces in Mpumalanga in the morning. So the Mpumalanga has like Soweto parliament versions. Different communities have their own parliaments as young people. Yeah. So we're just catching up to plan what we're going to do because something big is coming in Mpumalanga now.
Okay.
And a granny walks in and another granny walks in. They all have problems. So now we are the go-to people in the community for domestic problems, I guess. Wow. You see, so then we then navigate the day.
They're walking into the Skype?
Into my house.
Into your house?
So so that's what we do most of the day.
Oh, so it's never planned, like you just help out?
It's never planned. We just help out. Some of the things like how do you plan electricity going off for a full year in people's communities?
Wow.
And there's a place that I know, it's not far from where I stay. They haven't had electricity for about, I think it's 6 months, man. And in some places around, the load shedding is a bit better. But Japan, I know they haven't had electricity for 6 months. When they do a follow-up, they've been told about Ikolo Tabanazo ESCOM, like Melebas Batale. And now they even signed up a petition that each and every household there's a certain fee for them to make sure they make payment. It's crazy Bafiti South Africa. It's crazy Bafiti Soweto. It's crazy Bafiti Stratim.
Most of the day.
Oh, so it's never planned, like you just help out?
It's never planned. We just help out. Some of the things like how do you plan electricity going off for a full year in people's communities?
Wow.
And then people would say, you know what, this person failed us, let's go get the young people there. They'll do something about it, sure.
So how are you related to Seshego? Like,
No, you see, my family is a big family. I do have family, me in Seshego, but the current attachment to
Seshego isn't it the same place at Puma? I think CIC, Julius Malema, I think is from Seshego. Yeah, I think Julius Malema is from, and I think I might as well know the follow-up question because of I know that Julius Malema don't necessarily see eye to eye. So maybe Umeji was just trying to connect my dots with how do you have a family Seshego and maybe connected to Julius Malema, thinking maybe it's an old-time beef. But I don't see it being an old-time beef. I think it's new beef, and it's just basically I'm going to go to peers because of Julius Malema Mdala. But I think with Julius Malema he sees himself in him, and then he feels threatened that this guy is steering South Africa into the right position. And somehow, I think Ugutunhlanhla will surpass that because of he has the support AU. And that's what most political parties lack.
Sure.
So how are you related to Seshego? Like,
No, you see, my family is a big family. I do have family, me in Seshego, but the current attachment to Seshego that people were talking about is that we got there and we did what we do in Soweto. People realize, there's a movement going on. They also have their own movement. They invited us over. We drove there. When we got there, it was crazy. People were like, yo, the guys are here. We can go after all the drug dealers we are scared of.
For real?
Yeah, and we went there and we did that. Yeah.
And it's Malema's hood. You think he's handling that, the crime and stuff like that? Or people respect him not to do that shit in his hood?
Yeah. So
also, your father's from there as well, ne?
My father has family from there, sure. So my grandmother, my dad's mother, Banale family there. So So yeah, so when we got there, it wasn't even about Julius or anyone. It was about the people saying that there's some elements that are on the ground that we can't face on a daily basis because the cops are failing us, the politicians are failing us. Can we ride on your back? And we confront them. I said, with pleasure, show me right now. And,
Wow.
And for us, that's the measure of our success. We don't care what people say. We just get in and do the right thing and move out.
Aren't you scared of approaching the drug dealers, dog?
We're never scared. We come from Soweto, dogs. When you come from Soweto, actually any other township for that matter, Soweto doesn't have to be special. You are conditioned not to be scared.
Who's we?
Yeah.
So everyone that you normally see on TV.
Yeah.
So how Soweto Parliament works from where it started is it's a platform for young people to come together and express leadership outside politics.
Oh, okay.
So for me, when they say Umakoko is being raped or Umakoko was raped, I don't need to be a politician. I need to be an active citizen
And a human.
for me to stand up and say, but that's not right. What do we do as
I think also in Soweto Parliament, how I would break it down to someone who needs to understand what the Soweto Parliament is. So basically, I'm a political parties are people who give you promises, and the Soweto Parliament are those people who deliver those promises to the people. So if maybe a political party will promise you a free crime zone area, the Soweto Parliament will make sure they deliver that. But they do not work with the political party. But because of isn't the it's just social issues, they affect our own. So now this is a social issue. Hence, when Umakoko is raped, you don't have to be a president of the country to fight that, but you just have to be a concerned citizen. You just have to manage OPL South Africa for you to fight that, and you don't have to vote for a certain party to put your hand up and say, this is wrong. You just have to be brave and stick it out and say, this is wrong, this can't happen. How can we fight that? Or how can we make sure
or Makoko was raped? I don't need to be a politician. I need to be an active citizen
And a human.
for me to stand up and say, but that's not right. Yeah. What do we do as the guys and girls in the community to make sure that no other granny gets raped? We don't need to be politicians. You don't need to be wearing anyone's t-shirt with anyone's face on it. The problem is that our ordinary people have given politicians and politics so much power that we've become stupid. We're always waiting for a Superman to come and save us, called a politician of some sort. And we can save ourselves. And we've proved that we can save ourselves.
There is no Superman.
But
are you affiliated to any party?
No, I'm not affiliated to any party.
Okay.
Zero political affiliation. So what we do...
But who do you vote for then?
I voted for... I voted for, when I vote, the youngest person who's independent on that ballot box.
Yeah. Oh,
that was my theory.
nice,
Sure.
nice.
Yeah.
Who was it?
It was Sticks in my ward. A guy called Sticks, yeah.
Sticks.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. Because it's time for young people. We can't... I don't have any hate against politicians or political parties. It's what they do. It's what they know how to do best, right? So, but we also need to play our role as ordinary people. We need to make sure that we get our own and we get all ducks in a row. So we need to make sure we support the young people, because we can't continue to have people taking decisions today for a future they'll never be a part of.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Yeah, so we in debt right now. You just got a new baby.
Yeah.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. You're a
He's a chiller. He's a chiller.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, no, I'm a big chiller. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that your child doesn't have to grow up in debt.
100%.
Because that's what's happening to us.
Yeah.
The biggest electricity argument I had is you can't build Soweto as Soweto. It's not even in your models or even in your institutions' rules and regulations as ESCOM. You bill per household. But now when you say Soweto's owing billions, you're then saying then when Lux has a child, that child has a debt of billions.
Jeez.
And you're also then saying when Lux has economic freedom in his own capacity, he moved to 4 ways, then he's moved away from the debt that he incurred. How does that make sense?
Wow.
Because all the debt, Mama Winnie used electricity, Nelson Mandela used electricity, and they moved, except for her, for Mama Winnie. And all of them that I'm mentioning, they move to the Gauteng. So now they're not owing electricity.
Yeah, think that's an interesting topic, man. For Abantu to say, or for the government to basically say, which is Soweto owes electricity. Number one, as he says, they do not bill per household, but they bill per the area. For an example, if we had a Mamelodi in Pretoria, then they say Mamelodi owes electricity, meaning every child ozelwe namhlanje ozalelwe eMamelodi and ozokhulela eMamelodi and ozohlala eMamelodi, that child already has a debt to pay. Yogesi angakawusebenzisi noma usebenzisa. And it's a mind fuck if he takes it further and says, if now that you probably have a well-paying job and then you can afford, then you move out of Mamelodi, you move to a nice suburb in Pretoria, it means that you're no longer responsible for that bill that you probably were consuming. And so that's why I think it should be billed per household, so that whether you move in or you move out, or whether you are born or not born, but that specific household has a debt of this specific amount, not the entire area. It just doesn't make sense, man. And it will never make sense.
Used electricity and they moved, except for her, for Mama Win. And all of them that I'm mentioning, they move. They moved to the Gauteng. So now they're not owing electricity. A brand new baby is owing electricity from that damn twilling. Come on, that's just pure, it doesn't even make sense. Let's not get it twisted.
Just tell our chillers who don't know what's happening in the city of Tshwane. Just explain.
Yeah, so what's happening in the city of Tshwane is that the DA-led administration is now going to big corporates and big government occupied buildings and just switching off because people are owing electricity. And you remember where it started? It started they said, with the mayor of DA, Soweto. We stood up and said that you are coming here to switch off the electricity in Soweto, compromising our grannies. While we've got two elements that you are scared of. You are scared of the big corporates that are owing you even more, a bigger debt than what you're claiming Soweto is owing.
So it's a drop in the ocean.
Yeah, it's a drop in the ocean. So you're not looking at all these white establishments that are owing Eskom. You are coming to the poorest of poor people and claiming that you are here to collect your debt. And number two, we've got buildings that are hijacked by illegal foreigners in our CBDs, be it in Sunnyside or in Johannesburg CBD, or it doesn't matter where for all it matters, right? So you've got those people enjoying free electricity and there's no accountability for those people.
The mess up thing about those people, you would find out they don't even get the load shedding because of those buildings are not, I would say, registered. So I don't think those buildings even experience load shedding. It's hijacked business. It's the hijacked properties. So it's property that was abandoned and it's property that was basically, when I'm not taking more to the Nyamoshela, then you write the car off. The car can still drive, but because of it has flipped over with the Rufia corner, then it's written off. Then if you go that's driving on. You understand? That person can basically drive the car as long as the car is still on the road, but when you pay the paper, write off. It's the same as these buildings. These buildings are written off. Our Sena's Golot, our Sena next. I doubt those buildings do get load shedding. Not unless Konomuntu who stays there or know anyone who stays there who can get the info for us and then drop it down in the comment sections. But I still doubt those buildings get load shedding.
But you are here quick to hold our grannies accountable in our townships. You better think twice. Then we honestly, I must be honest because this show is about honesty. Right?
Yeah.
And I said, 100%. Listen, South Africa will not be enjoyed by anyone if some South Africans continue to be marginalized. We'd rather die or go to jail. Our grannies are not going to be treated like this. We'll stop every single highway. We'll make sure that even the police stations will close them. By the way, that project is coming. But we'll close every single police station in this country because it's not working for the people. We'll close every single government building because this government is not working for our people. It's working for others. And Eskom, we don't mind. If some people in Soweto are going to live in the dark, we will make sure that we will go as far as destroying all the Eskom infrastructure so that everyone is in the dark.
Mandela, is this you?
Mandela,
What's your opinion on Mandela?
Mandela did great for that everyone. We don't mind. If some people in Soweto are going to live in the dark, we will make sure that we will go as far as destroying all the ESCOM infrastructure so that everyone is in the dark.
Mandela, is this you?
Mandela,
What's your opinion on Mandela?
Mandela did great for the continent, did great for the world. But he's like a superstar that everyone appreciates except for people at home.
No way, stop.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, you could play jersey number 10, Ubentu Embu, and leave your kids around because when you travel and tour with the team, the girls like you when you're sleeping around. You've got kids in every province, but your kids don't know you, dog.
Not Mandela.
Not Mandela.
What do you mean? I went to school with the kid Banaba
I
Mandela.
think that's a better example, the jersey number 10. I think Mandela was, not in South Africa, we had our own fair share, our own chance to get to know the old men, especially if you're in a position of celeb status. I doubt there's any well-known person in South Africa who has never met Mandela, but when he was still alive. And it's not like he's someone who, when he became a world icon, then I'm moving out of South Africa. I'm going to stay maybe in an area where I'll be appreciated more. Because of that, we also have this thing of not appreciating our people who have done the most up until they get to a certain state. Then that's when we want to claim them, which is our kind. It's the same thing with Trevor Noah, same thing with Black Coffee, Elon Musk, Nelson Mandela. Now there's Wiseman Ncube. That guy is a great actor, but Mfilangati, we do not appreciate our own to a point yoguti they would also feel yoguti they are celebrated home. That's why a lot of people in South Africa, when they want to make it, they go outside and conquer the world outside, because of when they get that celeb status approval from maybe USA, then that's when we can take them into consideration and say, oh, Gonje, he's from SA. He didn't do shit in SA because of we want to bring them down. So Mandela, for me, Mandela, everyone had a fair chance to meet Mandela, except for us who come from basically poorer backgrounds, and we were not given such opportunities. But NHLANHLA was not. Mandela,
I went to school. Can I ask any ordinary South African, have you met Mandela? Do you know how many people wanted to meet Mandela who couldn't meet Mandela?
You have never met him.
But every other celebrity from America, when I was in South Africa, I was with Mandela.
Oh yeah.
Why can they access the man more than we do, more than we can? Mama Winnie was opposite, by the way.
They access the men more than we can because they recognize the men, they appreciate the men. We have a problem of not showing appreciation to our people. That's why abantu abangaphandle get more access, because of they realize the changes that he has done. But we just don't give a fuck, basically, as South Africans. Take an example as G. The shit that these guys are doing, it's amazing for South Africans, but we just don't give a fuck. Umuntu angaphandle then acknowledge, then we should start saying, hey, MacG is easily accessible for celebs who are outside.
America, when I was in South Africa, I was with Mandela.
Oh yeah.
Why can they access the men more than we do, more than we can? Mama Winnie was opposite, by the way. Mama Winnie, we could march to her house on an ordinary day, but with the Arkenyela Shalema or lady round. You'd see her. They'd open the gate. If the securities are not opening the gate because they know that she's probably fragile because she would be sick and whatever, they would not pass the message to her and pretend that she's saying that she is tired or whatever. Yeah. And then the young people would then sing. Kosas will tell you. Yeah. They would then sing, and once she hears the songs, comes out in the car.
So you met her?
Me, I've met Mama many times.
Yeah.
Mama lived on the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mama, you didn't need to make an appointment to meet her. Mama didn't care if you've got titles or you are Mang's son. Don't forget where she comes from. She's a person, she's a product of the people. And if you are a peasant, then you are part of her.
Yeah. He had a soft life with some rich proper schools.
You can hear the Model C accent.
Yeah, it does come out
Remember,
sometimes.
By the way,
by the way.
no.
We want to protect these
Wait,
malls. We
that's all.
want to protect these malls.
No, we're not on.
And it also comes back to what he did at Maponya Mall. It also goes back to the Mandela. What he did at Maponya Mall was so huge, man, that I don't think Uguti as Soweto he got like recognition of Uguti. Man, you did one hell of a job by protecting Maponya Mall. People don't care. And then if he's appreciated by people from outside, say, Guti, there's a guy in South Africa, Soweto, who has done 1, 2, 3, 4. We just want to give him this award. And then he becomes accessible from people from outside. Because of South Africa, people just don't give a fuck. And it's something that we should change. If someone is doing good, make sure you let that person know, Guti, my guy, you are doing good. Can I at least be close to you so that I can learn whatever is it that you're doing? And maybe it might lead me to financial freedom. But South Africans, they just don't give a fuck.
We'll come back
But he
to
went to
Sol.
good schools and that's cool.
We'll come back to
His
Sol.
parents grinded.
We'll come back to so. Let me tell you.
His parents grinded and that's
It does
cool.
slip out now and then. Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that, bro. I
There's
got an
absolutely nothing
accent.
wrong. It's like
polished man.
yeah, it's like you, by the way.
Yeah.
I've had a chiller who loves both you and I, who said, I don't appreciate what's sold. Actually, the chiller is his sister.
Oh,
Right?
Banter, man.
yeah.
No, but
Cat-
it's your English accent vele was not the
No.
Maponya Mo one.
Yeah.
It was not like we're gonna protect his balls.
what's a social media name? Katleho Morocco. So what Katleho then did is she says, I don't appreciate what they say about my president. And found every time where your accent switched.
No,
I'm a
my
little
accent
kid.
does. He knows. We're in Ghana. I was using a different accent. You know what I mean? He knows. It switches because you want to be understood and heard by the people.
No, but I didn't think that you were serious. I thought
No, it's just
important.
bad.
It's just
yeah,
bad.
it's
You know the
important.
shows, man.
I mean,
You know
have
the
you heard
show.
Nesty C switch from Zulu to English?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a mind fuck.
Proper.
Exactly.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, for me that's amazing.
To me, that's beautiful.
Sure, yeah.
So you say you
I
went
just
to
I just
good
wish the
schools.
king could also switch, but that's
Aye.
another.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh man, I switch.
Yeah. So my first week, my first month at Parker's.
Okay, basically when he says he hopes the king can also switch or show the Zulu King, the current king. I know with Manje they are in court. I think the two princes are fighting for ownership or who has to be king. So that case is in court, and yeah, it's just families in jail that are involved in such. So when he says Uguti, he hopes Uguti the king can also switch. That's because of the king studied, I think somewhere in England, and then he can hear Zulu, but he can't speak Zulu. So it's crazy that a Zulu king cannot speak Zulu. How messed up is that, man? But again, South Africa.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh man, I switch.
Yeah. So my first week, my first month at Parker's Primary School. I was then called VP Tlaxin. And I didn't know why the kids are calling me VP Tlaxin.
Yeah.
But because my jersey, all the uniform was donated by the white ladies that worked with my mother. And they all write the name in case the jersey goes to lost and found.
Yeah.
So I was rocking uniform here, VP Tlaxin. So I was then called VP Tlaxin.
Yeah.
But me being me, I let it slide.
Sure.
VP Tlaxin, no problem.
Yeah.
And luckily, I didn't have a challenge of putting pen to paper. Then the school liked me. And then the school supported my stay there because my mother couldn't have done it single-handedly.
Of course.
But the bulk of the money came from my father, who was a career criminal.
Yeah, they used to call him Magesta.
Yeah, so Magesta never ropa di banka. At that
Wait.
time, the post office.
Is this Makesta from Sprayview?
Magesta from Spring.
Oh, flip!
Yeah, Makesta from
Makesta's got a
Sprayview.
venue at Sprayview,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a club,
Sure.
spotted. Wow!
Since when do you say, oh, flip?
We're rebranding. We're trying to get sponsors on there, So let's with the fuck. Flip now, I'm Penduga after all, so flip.
So then my dad walks in one day with JM. In Soweto, JM is a refuse bag, guys. Walks in with a JM with a refuse bag full of cash, drops in the office. Intercom calls me, please come to the office, because you know how they call our names.
Yeah.
Come to the office. Is this your father? 100%, that's my father.
Yeah.
Because they've never seen him. I mean, it's two gangs. They
Yeah,
don't
of
do
course.
parents meeting. It doesn't do anything. that guy. So I then say yes, and they say, okay, your school fees is paid up until you leave school, and this is standard 1.
Whoa!
So my school fees gets paid until standard 5. Because you're grade 7.
You're a legend.
Yeah. So. And on all the school trips, by the way. So he like works it out on average. And the school trips, how much? Boom. And what, how much? Boom. And this guy says, then he later tells me, straight from where we went to go rob, the roadblocks would be heading to Alexandra, Soweto. So I knew there wouldn't be a roadblock to your school. Because So I took my part of the investment amongst the guys and dropped it at your school.
Wow.
So that even if we get caught going to the township, my job is done.
So let me get this straight, ne? If I'm correct, you are doing this because you want every black child that grows up in this country to go through what you did, but it must be standard, it mustn't be a privilege.
100%. It must be out of choice.
Okay.
Sure. It must be out of pure choice. That, you know, we need, by now, the country should be at a position where it's actually up to you whether you are taking drugs or not. In the townships, our young people are subjected to drugs. It's not their choice.
Jeez.
I hear people saying that, but it's their choice. Listen, nearly every street in where I come from in Soweto sells drugs, guys. I don't care from which community. We fight drugs on a daily basis. So when kids who don't know better, a 12-year-old right now is being introduced to drugs. Since you and I started talking here on this show, there's about a dozen kids who are introduced to drugs.
Yeah.
Now Hubley is an in thing. Now we share. Wait. Now we're sharing Hubley, right? And it's cool because we do it. You do it. You do it. Everybody here does it, right? Yeah. So then we get people who add things into the Hubley. I'm not talking weed. I'm talking like drugs, real drugs. And then that thing hits you. And then you're smoking the cop to my 45 without your knowledge that you're actually on drugs. It's too late, boy. You are in drugs. It's okay.
There's this guy that I knew who was a bricklayer. So the guy gave cash to a friend to buy weed. Friend came, brought up the joint, they smoked. Second time, gave friend cash, buy weed. Friend came, brought up the joint, then smoked. On his third time, the friend didn't come to work. What decided he was taking brought up the joint, smoked. But the high that he felt on that day was different from the two occasions. Went to a friend, man, I need that weed because of it gives me a certain strength. And then friend and Jim, no, you buy at this place. Marafika Lapo buys the weed. It's already rolled. He smokes, he gets that energy. And then on a later stage, that's when he was told, and by that time, it was too late. He was already hooked. So I understand and I've seen what he's talking about, Uguti. By the time you realize, Uguti, there's something in the oka pipe that you're smoking, it would be too late.
And then that thing hits you. And then you're smoking the cop to my 45 without your knowledge that you're actually on drugs. It's too late, boy. You are in drugs. It's okay, you're not hooked to the drugs because your mind doesn't know it's a drugs, but you're hooked to that social circle until they tell you that, boy, listen, you can't be chilling here for free and smoking our hub. Our hub is not the real hub. It's this. But you are hooked. And then now you start hustling from your own mother, stealing things at the house. It's not only nyaope, guys. Drug is not only nyaope.
Yeah.
That's why they call it Hubley thing a hookah. It's a hookah, you know?
Yeah, sure. It's a hookah pipe.
Yeah.
Hookah pipe.
You see? That's part of the reason why I'm not responding to the politicians when they do their fuckery of lying to the nation, saying he's linked to Johan Rupert, linked to Rob Hezov, linked to Mang Mang. I do not care. Because, you know, if I respond, look, Julius had a lot to say 3 days in a row about Operation Tutola.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's waiting for a response, no?
Listen, 3 days in a row, first in Parliament, bunch of criminals. Dog,
Yes.
if Parliament is not a joke, it's not a shabin. If you say people are criminals, best believe you must have your facts right and justify why you're saying those people are criminals. Let's look at who Julius is referring to. The leadership of Tutula. Fine, I'm the head.
Yeah, the face.
Person there, the face people recognize. So people are saying Lux ki criminal. And it's coming from Julius. Forget Julius, coming from Parliament. No, Lux is very good at the shooting from the hip. We're waiting for his response. I've got a million requests for me to respond to Julius. Fine, I let it slide. The second day, the day after he says that, he's in court. They ask him things that are to do with his court. And then Tutula comes up again. Those criminals. Hey, man. And then the next day, he's at a rally. 3 days in a row. Tutula. Guys, what's going on here? No, Lux, you must respond. Let me tell you, first time on this show, tell you why I'm not responding to Julius. Julius needs to be shown love. We are tired of black people always just hating on each other. If that means the younger person must be the older person in the situation, let it be, it's fine. You know? So Julius, on each other. If I'm on this show, tell you why I'm not responding to Julius. Julius needs to be shown love. We are tired of black people always just hating on each other. If that means the younger person must be the older person in the situation, let it be, it's fine. You know? So Julius experienced too much hate from the systems, even from his own people. When he was expelled in the ANC, he's been fighting for too long. So he thinks every situation must be a fight. When I see Julius, I'm going to give him a hug. Guys, I want to tell you something. People like Julius, if we had a fair and just old black nation here, the older people were fair, they would put Julius in a room alongside many other young black leaders and say, guys, what are we actually doing? How do we unite you guys so that you can speak in one voice? Let me tell you, if the numbers of EFF and our ground forces numbers came together, and ANC Youth League that's been put together now came together, and COSAS came together, would take the land back in 7 working days. I'm not joking.
No cap.
Listen to me. Would take the land back, would dictate how the banks work, but no. Right now, instead of us focusing on the real agenda, we must now mislead people. No, Lux is sponsored. And then in a full court, or rather a full parliament, Lux is a criminal with their Operation Tutul. Julius, at this point, if he was someone who grew up Kalerato, shown love, and is exercising love right now, he would have found a time to come to me or make sure that I go to him and say, Donak, you're actually doing well. You did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but as a young black person, how do we come together and make sure that you don't get derailed? How do we make sure that we achieve what we need to achieve together for our people? But those conversations don't happen. Instead, you get the hate that comes in. But it's okay. Not all of us grew up with that much hatred around us. Some of us experienced love, and we have good people around us that continue to tell us. Let me tell you, on record, a time is going to come in South Africa where all the young people, I don't care from which corner of life, but in particular the young black people, the time will come for us to unite in this lifetime, because the unity is what will rescue the land and everything else. But if I start responding, that unity meeting might be a 10-hour meeting. But because I didn't respond, it'll be 30 minutes.
When you respond, the unity meeting might be 10-hour meeting, because in meeting you guys be solving ama beefs. You guys will be solving izinto that has nothing to do with the meeting. But by him not responding, that meeting will just be 30 minutes, because of there's no beef that people will say, therefore, before we guys start joining you and stuff like that. Man, this is deep, man. This is super.
Rescue the land and everything else. But if I start responding, that unity meeting might be a 10-hour meeting. But because I didn't respond, it'll be 30 minutes. Do you understand?
Yes.
Then we'll get on with it.
Let's talk about the good things about SA, man, because this is a beautiful country.
The best.
You know,
the woman,
I always
for
say,
example.
Yay!
We've got the best woman in the world.
Mutsiri Simuhono. Yeah, she's up there.
Oh, you like City?
Yeah, I love City.
City's a G.
Inside joke, guys.
Yeah. City's a G.
What's your what's your vision of what you want South Africa to be. The good things. Like, we've spoken about what's wrong.
I want it to be okay for Siya Kolisi to come watch movies with his white girlfriend, Komaponya Mall. Actually, wife, Komaponya Mall. It's not. Because why?
But Mr. Lux, on that one, we've moved from, like, now abantu understand that Otaki was Uzona Nabilu. So I don't think it would be a problem if we see that, especially us. That we've moved, man. Even worse, Ingos is there too. They are now in the same schools with these people. So Lapua and Mr. Lux.
And it's a problem. I look forward to a country where we all have a choice to do and be whatever we want. We mustn't be forced because retlaring. If the government must understand its people. I mean, listen to the Sona, Michi. The Sona, if I ask Goko, who's selling Makonyako North taxi rank, what was the Sona about? I'm Tanami, Yangas. We don't address the real people of this country. We are speaking about hydrogen projects. And I don't have anything against
Smart cities.
I don't have anything. Smart cities.
That's smart cities. He's
Come
been
on.
promising us smart cities.
No,
but look at the real city.
Yeah, look at the real city.
Yeah, but they're creating a smart city.
100%. So I look forward to a country with a sauna that speaks about the grannies in Alexandra, that speaks about our how our women get raped every day. Since we started speaking, there's more than 100 women who were raped, just by the way. The sauna be real, because it's the state of the nation. So whether the state of the nation is good or bad, I want it to reflect the true state of the nation. Because when you speak about a hydrogen project and the politicians stand up and clap that we have a hydrogen project, who can tell me what's hydrogen here?
I'm still trying to get solar, man.
Do you understand?
It's just a dream.
So we need, as a leader, it doesn't matter how educated you are, never leave your people. Because you are leading people. You are not leading bricks and walls and buildings and animals. You are leading your people. They vote for you. So you must make sure that, you know why Jacob Zuma was such a good president, by the way. And I'm not comparing him to Cyril, because for me, what's one, and it doesn't matter who's there.
Yeah.
It's because the man had time to articulate things in such a way that Mkhosi would understand.
Then that's one reason for Julius Malema is loved. That guy can make you understand politics even if umuntu ophume esikolweni ngo-grade 3 and you are above 16. He can give you that understanding even when he's interviewed by award-winning journalists. But the way he would answer, man, also ngathi ucabangela the person who's watching, but there's someone out there who's watching who has no idea what a EFF is about, and I wanna answer the question to its simplest form so nalo muntu loyo can understand what EFF is about. That's one thing that Julius masters very well.
What's one, and it doesn't matter who's there.
Yeah.
It's because the man had time to articulate things in such a way that Mkhosi would understand. He didn't intellectualize everything. You see? So
it was relatable.
Yeah, so before people think now we are comparing the presidents, let's move away from the presidents. The country we need is a country for McG and the team to have a podcast without hurdles. We need to make sure that every child that is born today, the race is the same for them until they get to the age of 80 or whatever it is. It's not the same for us, Michi.
Yes,
we continue to be the most marginalized people in the whole world. And people think that we are over crying.
Remember that City Press article?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's garbage.
Did you see the City Press article?
Which one?
They wrote an article, when you're
They
tired...
said, when you're tired of listening to Meg G, these are the other podcasts worthy of listening.
That was the headline.
But the headline is when you're tired of listening to Meg G.
Why?
And it's written by, guess who?
A black guy.
Black
woman. Black woman.
What, Piri?
No, don't give that. No, please.
Okay.
Not on such don't give her a time.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to achieve.
Let's give her a hug.
Let's give her a hug when we see her.
Let's give her a
Okay.
hug.
And if she's got a child that is dateable, let's send one of our forces to go date the child.
I'm hated
No.
from the inside.
No, we must infiltrate her home.
Oh, with love, with
No,
love.
listen to what I'm saying.
Yes.
If this woman has a child that is dateable,
Okay.
let's send one of our young forces
Yes.
to go date that person,
Yes.
so that
And spread the
we've
love.
got one of us in that house,
Uh-huh.
so that we can now challenge her from inside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's insane, man. That's insane. That's insane. And when a big shout out to NHLANHLA LUX, but I think this guy is very smart, and the way he articulates it's he's well spoken, and I'm just quite not sure where he is now in terms of his mental and his space and his political standing and whatever the case is, because of I don't follow politics that much, but I know Guti, if I ever come across this guy on a ballot paper, I'm putting my X there because he speaks with the people. He's the same as Julius, the same as Uzuma, the same as Barack Obama. Barack Obama, you didn't have to be America to understand. In South Africa, you would understand him because of he was like he was relatable. Yeah, but same as Musi Maimane, that dude is relatable. That dude when he speaks to the average Joe, wasekhasi nje umuntu oziphumela ekhoneni, and he can switch Italiake and speak to someone ophandayo, speak to someone who's cooperating, speak to someone who's just oziphilela impilo yakhe nje, yabo. That's what I love about these three people. It's Julius, NHLANHLA LUX, and Umusi. I love, and I know that if they can join forces, only these three, I believe that South Africa can be one of the beautiful countries in the world. And I believe that we would eventually see South Africa for what it is rather than how we see it now, because of manje we see it as for what it was. Abantu abaningi sebahlaliswe into ukuthi South Africa before iba so ike yaba kanje, and they still have that hope yokuthi it will go back to such days. And these three people, man, for me, personally, for me, I feel ukuthi they can change the South Africa and turn it into a better place for all. Because of every time they speak for everyone. They don't speak for themselves. They don't promote them apart to our interviews. They just speak their minds and speak to the people and make sure that the people understand what was said on that interview. So a big shout out to NHLANHLA LUX, man. I wish him the best in Bilweni, and I wish he probably considers opening up a political party, because now it's the right time to open these political parties and then just spread amavotu, and then once they collide and do one party, and then they know what they have certain votes abangawahlanganisa just to dismantle the ANC kancane, so that we can get a bit of fresh air from other parties and sazi ukuthi phambili sibhekene nani, other than seeing the same thing over and over and over, just different faces, but it's the same promises. And kanjalo it doesn't work. So a big shout out to him, man. He's touched about drugs in Makasana. We know people are suffering from drugs, kids are suffering from drugs, and the government is doing nothing. Masomalieni ayazenzela emakasi, the government is doing nothing. Amazamazama ayazenzela emakasi, the government is doing nothing. So we need people like NHLANHLA LUX to give us that fire. Ukuthi bafethu, you can't relax. Ikasi kusaseyileni. Get up and fight for ikasi lenu, and take ikasi lenu back to the time where it was beautiful, so that incosi yakho mayikhula izokhula endaweni safe. Those were my thoughts, and it was a beautiful interview to watch. And I also want to say thank you to everyone who's showing love on this channel, man. Alokwan is the name, Pool Session is the channel. And if you are new, please do click on that sub button and join the fam. We out.